Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're sharing a story that's incredibly close to our hearts. It's a story about hope, community, and the amazing resilience of animals. It all started a few months ago on a cold, rainy morning. That's when we first saw him. A small, scruffy little dog huddled under a bush at the end of the street, shivering and soaked. He was so timid you could barely look in his direction without him flinching and trying to hide. His fur was matted, he was painfully thin, and his eyes held a deep sadness, a weariness that spoke of a tough life on the streets. We decided to call him Rusty because of his reddish-brown coat that looked like it had seen better days. Our first encounter was from a distance. We didn't want to scare him. We just left a small bowl of food and some fresh water near the bush and walked away. For days, this was our routine. We'd leave the food, and from a safe distance, we'd watch him cautiously emerge, snatch a few bites, and then quickly retreat back into the shadows. He was a little ghost in our neighborhood, a fleeting glimpse of fur and fear. It was heartbreaking to see, but we knew that patience was key. We couldn't force his trust. We had to earn it, one small, quiet gesture at a time. And we weren't the only ones who noticed him. Slowly but surely, a silent pact formed among the neighbors. Mrs. Gable from number 12 started leaving a warm, dry blanket on her porch every evening. Mr. Henderson, who usually walks his golden retriever, Ben, in the mornings, began taking a slightly different route, making sure to drop a few treats near Rusty's favorite hiding spot. It was amazing to see how our little community rallied around this one scared soul. There were no big meetings or grand plans. It was just small individual acts of kindness, all weaving together to create a safety net for Rusty. One day, a little girl named Lily drew a picture of him, a happy, smiling dog, and taped it to the community notice board with the words, "Be kind to our fuzzy friend." That little drawing felt like a turning point. It was as if the whole neighborhood had officially adopted him in spirit, even if he was still too scared to let anyone get close. We started a neighborhood group chat, not for gossip, but for Rusty updates. People would post things like, "He ate the whole bowl of food today," or "I think he almost wagged his tail at me." Each tiny step forward felt like a huge victory for all of us. The real breakthrough came on a surprisingly sunny afternoon. I was sitting on my front steps, just reading a book, trying to be as non-threatening as possible. I'd been doing this for a few weeks, just getting him used to my presence. Rusty was watching me from his usual spot across the street. He wasn't hiding as much anymore. He'd just sit and observe. But after about 20 minutes of complete stillness from both of us, he did something that made my heart stop. He stood up, stretched, and slowly, cautiously, began to walk across the street. Every step was deliberate, hesitant. He kept his eyes locked on mine, gauging my reaction. I held my breath, trying to send every calm, reassuring vibe I could muster. He stopped about 10 feet away from me, sat down, and just looked at me. It wasn't the look of fear anymore. It was a look of curiosity, of questioning. In that moment, a silent conversation passed between us. I slowly extended my hand, palm down, and laid it on the ground. He watched it for a long time. Then, inch by inch, he crept forward. My heart was pounding in my chest. And then it happened. A wet nose touched my fingertips. It was the briefest, lightest touch, but it felt monumental. It was the first physical contact, the first sign that maybe, just maybe, he was ready to let someone in. From that day on, Rusty's transformation accelerated. The nose touch became a daily ritual. Soon he was letting me gently stroke his back. His fur was rough and dirty, but underneath I could feel the warmth of a living, breathing creature who was starting to remember what it felt like to be safe. He started spending more time out in the open, sunbathing on the patch of grass in the park. Other neighbors started having their own first contact moments. He'd cautiously sniff the hand of Mrs. Gable, or let Ben, the golden retriever, give him a friendly sniff from a respectable distance. He even started to play. We'd toss a soft toy, and at first he'd just look at it, confused. But then, one day, he pounced on it, tossing it in the air with a joy that was infectious. His tail, which had been tucked between his legs for so long, started to give tentative wags. And then we heard it for the first time, a bark. It wasn't a scared or aggressive bark. It was a playful, happy sound as he chased a leaf blowing in the wind. The whole neighborhood celebrated. The little ghost of our streets was becoming a real dog, a personality, a friend. We saw the true Rusty emerge from beneath the layers of fear and neglect. He was playful, goofy, and incredibly sweet. It became clear that Rusty deserved more than a life of friendly handouts on the street. He needed a real home, a family to call his own. The decision was tough, as we had all grown to love him as our community dog. But we knew the best act of love we could give him was a stable, loving environment. That's when Sarah and Tom, a young couple who had recently moved into the neighborhood, stepped forward. They had been part of the Rusty Watch from the beginning and had fallen completely in love with him from afar. They had a big fenced-in yard and so much love to give. The introduction process was slow and gentle. They started by joining our daily sit-ins, just being present and letting Rusty get used to them. They brought the tastiest treats and the softest voices. Rusty, who was now much more confident, took to them quickly. After a few weeks, we took the next big step. We put a collar on him with a tag that said Rusty and Sarah's phone number. He didn't even flinch. It was like he knew it was a symbol of belonging. The day he willingly walked into their house for the first time, tail wagging, was a day none of us will ever forget. There were definitely a few happy tears shed on our street that day. And now, look at him. This is Rusty today. No longer the scruffy, terrified stray hiding under a bush. He's a happy, healthy, and ridiculously spoiled member of a loving family. His coat is shiny, his belly is full, and his eyes are filled with nothing but joy and trust. He goes on daily walks on a leash, and is the official greeter for anyone passing by Sarah and Tom's house. He has a whole basket of toys and his own spot on the sofa. But the best part, he hasn't forgotten his old friends. He still gets excited whenever he sees one of the neighbors who helped him. He'll run up for a pet from Mrs. Gable or have a playful chase with Ben in the park. He's not just Sarah and Tom's dog. He's still, in a way, our neighborhood's dog. His story is a powerful reminder of what a little bit of compassion and patience can do. He didn't just find a home, he brought a whole community closer together. He taught us that no one is too broken to be loved, and that everyone deserves a second chance. From a forgotten stray to a local celebrity, Rusty's journey has been nothing short of miraculous. He's our star, our little reminder of the good in the world. Looking back, it's incredible to think about the journey we've all been on with Rusty. This wasn't just about saving one dog. It was about discovering the kindness within our own community. It showed us that when people come together, even in small, quiet ways, they can create real positive change. Rusty was the catalyst. He forced us to slow down, to pay attention, and to connect with each other on a deeper level. Our Rusty Updates chat has now turned into a general neighborhood chat, where people share everything from gardening tips to offers to help a neighbor in need. We became more than just people living on the same street. We became a community in the truest sense of the word, and it's all thanks to one little scruffy dog who dared to trust again. If you're watching this and you see a stray animal in your area, please don't look away. You don't have to change the world overnight. Start small. A bowl of water, a call to a local rescue, a simple act of kindness. You never know, you might just be starting a beautiful story of your own. Every life has value, and every animal deserves to feel safe and loved. If you've been touched by Rusty's story, there are so many ways you can help animals like him. Consider volunteering at your local animal shelter. They are always in need of people to walk dogs, socialize with cats, or help with cleaning and feeding. Even just a few hours a month can make a huge difference in an animal's life. If you can't volunteer your time, consider donating. Shelters rely on donations to provide food, medical care, and a safe place for animals to stay while they wait for their forever homes. Even a small donation can help buy a warm blanket or a much-needed vaccine. And of course, the biggest way to help is to adopt, not shop. There are millions of wonderful, loving animals, just like Rusty, in shelters all over the world, just waiting for a second chance. Giving a rescue animal a home is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. You're not just saving one life. You're opening up a space in the shelter for another animal in need. Remember, when you adopt, you're not just getting a pet, you're gaining a family member and a best friend. This whole experience with Rusty has taught me so much about empathy and the incredible bond between humans and animals. It's a reminder that animals feel fear, joy, sadness, and love, just like we do. They are not disposable. They are sentient beings who depend on our compassion. Rusty's journey from a terrified stray to a cherished pet is a testament to his own resilience, but also to the power of human kindness. It shows that, with a little effort, we can make a profound difference. So, let's all try to be a little more like the people on my street. Let's look out for the vulnerable. Let's offer help without expecting anything in return, and let's celebrate every small victory. The world can be a tough place, but stories like Rusty's give us hope. They remind us that love can heal, kindness can transform, and that one little dog can bring an entire neighborhood together. Thank you for letting us share his incredible story with you. It's been an emotional and beautiful ride. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of Rusty's journey. We hope his story has inspired you as much as he has inspired us every single day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever helped a stray animal? What did you learn from the experience? Share your stories with us. Let's create a community of kindness right here. And remember, be the person your dog thinks you are. Until next time, take care, be kind, and give your pets an extra hug from us and from Rusty. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.